I feel as rebooted as Star Wars got re-released again and again and again. And who else has gotten rebooted again and again? Spider-Man. This is about the original trilogy, and I will talk about the Amazing Spider-Man. We only got 2 films, and then we got the Homecoming, Away from Home, Far from Home films. But Spider-Man started, well, this trilogy started in 2002. 2 years after X-Men, and 1 year before X-Men United. So we got Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. Yeah, he played a really good Spider-Man. He was the only 100% organic Spider-Man, because the song says, does whatever a spider can. But in the comics and the Amazing Spider-Man, he makes his own web slingers. So he can't do whatever a spider can. But in the original Sam Raimi trilogy, he can shoot his own webs. But that was controversial. But it was true to the song and description of the character. He gets bitten by a super genetic spider, but it doesn't give him enough power to make his own web organically. He does it scientifically. I've never understood that, but that's why I like the original film trilogy, because he gets bitten and he can produce his own web. And he can do everything a spider can. He's got spider senses, he's fast, crawls up walls. And yeah, he's a pretty cool superhero. And he's got some great villains. And in the original Spider-Man, he goes up against the Green Goblin, who is the Spider-Verse's equivalent to the Joker. Because every Spider-Man film, we get the Green Goblin. And every Batman film, we get the Joker. Do I have to do Batman vs. Spider-Man? Then an Iron Man vs. Superman? Or Iron Man vs. Batman? No. No. I love Batman. Don't mind Iron Man. Superman, eh. But yeah, Spider-Man. So he lives with his aunt and uncle, Uncle Ben, who gets shot. And it's pretty much Peter's fault, because he didn't stop the guy, but he got skipped out of the money because he versed the Macho Man, known as Bonesaw. And, well, yeah, Randy Savage pretty much stuffed up his neck in that scene because of how he landed. Crazy bump, man. And that was a pretty cool scene. You had the awesome Bruce Campbell, who cameoed in the other 2 Spider-Man films as someone else. That was a pretty cool gaffe. Of course, it got, well, the Stan Lee cameo, I can't remember where it really started, but, well, yeah, he mostly, yes, in there. I'm not sure if he's in the X-Men films. I can't remember, but he's there. He's the one that tells Peter Parker a couple things on the street. I can't remember exactly. It's been a long time. Long time since I saw Spider-Man. But yeah, we got Peter Parker. He's the nerdy kid. He's interested in MJ, but MJ's going out with Flash Thompson. And then Harry Osborn starts getting involved and ends up with MJ, but then Peter's like missing out. Then, of course, you got Norman, played by the wonderful and awesome William Dafoe. He was great as a villain. He really should have gotten the role as Joker, because he looks the most like the Joker. But anyway, so yeah, Peter gets bitten, he gets sick, and then he gets superpowers. Then Norman does a few experimentations. He gets sick and gets superpowers. So he's terrorizing the city. Peter Parker's trying to get these top-paying gigs, get photos of Spider-Man. course, this guy, who's basically the equivalent to Perry White in Superman, says that the crap, and then he's like, oh, who's the Green Goblin? He's saying Spider-Man's the terror, then the Green Goblin comes. MJ is almost killed, but she's saved. She falls for Spider-Man, and in the end, Peter Parker reveals himself as Spider-Man because of the kiss. That famous upside-down kiss, which was parodied so many times. Family Guy parodied it. SNL parodied it. I think the Academy Awards in 2003 parodied it with Jack Black. Someone else. And yeah, of course, MJ is played by Kristen Stewart. James Franco plays Harry. And yeah, so good effects for the time. Great music. Nickelback did the main song, but that's nothing compared to Killing Heidi's song in Spider-Man 2. I Am. It's a great song. And Spider-Man 2, great sequel. You got Dr. Octopus, who's, yeah, quite a main foe as well for Spider-Man. Alfred Molina played him just brilliantly. Like the train scene. It's crazy, and the Wolverine tried to redo it, but it didn't really work out well. Wolverine and Spider-Man, you know, they're in the Marvel verse. They always get redone. Like the X-Men and Spider-Man always get redone. Like the Fantastic Four. You had the 1994 classic, and then you had the 2000s one, which was alright, and then you had the follow-up, which stopped the franchise, and you had the 2015 one, which was shit. Now you gotta have another one. You had the cool cartoon series. How could you stuff up the first Marvel family? While they kept stuffing up Spider-Man, it got kept rebooted, as did X-Men. So yeah, Spider-Man 2, epic, crazy, great sequel. Then we got the infamous Spider-Man 3, with a very lackluster Venom. He looked cool, like the costume looked great, the effects were awesome. Thomas Hayden Church as Sandman, that was great. He should have been the main focus. But Venom, you know, he's like the Bane to Spider-Man, and yeah, you know, Venom is Spider-Man's equivalent to Bane. But Venom got justice in his own movie, and then we got the sequel. That what it's called, and yeah, Bane got justice in The Dark Knight. And Tom Hardy played Bane, and he played Venom. So you can see where all superheroes have something in common, because an actor generally plays a character from the other series, or brings justice to the series, unlike Justice League, which didn't get much justice. Well, the Zack Snyder cut, people say, was more justice to it, but yeah, Spider-Man 3 was a huge hit, but it stuffed it, and then we got The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield. It was more closer to the comics, it was a bit darker, more edgier. It did well, and then they cluster fudged it with The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Too many villains. Didn't you learn that from Spider-Man 3? No. So that put stuff to it. And we got Spider-Man Homecoming. Great! Awesome portrayal. This is cool. You have Michael Keaton as the Vulture. Of course, we know Michael Keaton played Batman, so that brings me back to actors playing other main villains in other films. They play a hero. They play a villain. They play another villain. Then we got So Far From Home, Homecoming, so Away From Home. Information here. And we got, the third one. So the reboot Spider-Man only got 2, and then the second reboot got 3. And Spider-Man ended up in the Avengers. We're waiting for the X-Men to get in that verse, but because the X-Men had its spin-offs, the Wolverine trilogy. After the prequel trilogy, which was a sequel, Days of Future's Past was a sequel redo, and that really breaks my head in. I'm caught in a web. I'm wrestling with myself. Game on. See you later.